Hey y'all, it's me back with another video. I done lost my shimmy, y'all. Okay, I have not been feeling well. Not at all. I just got out of bed like 2 hours ago, I guess. Oh, I want to say this. This is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. And for those of you that don't know, I have the sickle cell trait, but I am one of the unfortunate people that has crisis, which is pain. I have extremely low hemoglobin levels. I have extremely low iron levels. I have extremely low calcium and potassium levels. Like, they go up and down, but my blood runs on the lower side. Like, my hemoglobin is never normal because I have 48% sickle cell trait. So 48% of my hemoglobin is the damage because I have AS. So A is normal. A normal person has two A's. I have an A and an S, and the S is the one that's defective. So I have 48, 47, 48% bad blood. So there are times when I don't feel good, because if you don't know, your blood is recycling, I guess like every 28 days or something, we get new blood cells. Okay, so the new ones that I get are coming in defective. So I just don't feel, it's days when I just don't feel good. Now, people who have sickle cell trait are prone to having problems with their kidneys, because a lot of people with sickle cell trait have high blood pressure, really hard to control blood pressures, which can cause like kidney damage, kidney cancer, a lot of problems with their kidneys. Now, about 7 years ago, I did pass a kidney stone, and after that, I didn't have any more problems with my kidneys, but now I am. So tomorrow, I'm having a CT scan done to see what's going on, because I've been having a lot of pain in my back. They don't think it's anything too serious, because I haven't had like any of the other symptoms like fever, chills, vomiting, none of that stuff. But I have like lost my appetite. I've been losing weight, and I'm losing weight because I ain't really eating nothing. I've been really fatigued. You can tell that my energy is extremely low. So I just want to let y'all know that it is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and pray for people who have this disease. This is just horrible. I went to school with a young lady that had full-blown sickle cell, and she passed away, I think, in her 20s. I know in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of people with sickle cell disease did not reach 30. Now people, medical treatments and stuff are more advanced. People are living longer with the disease. But, I mean, gosh, I could not imagine being in the hospital every month, or, having to go through the blood transfusions and all of the stuff that they, have to go through that have the full-blown disease. I have had one blood transfusion, and it was like a couple of years ago. I mean, it wasn't horrible, for me, because it was like the first time I had it done. It's not painful or anything like that. But, some people who have this have to end up going on dialysis, and I know that is extremely difficult. So I'm always praying for people who, suffer from this disease, because I didn't even know that I had it until I was 21 years old, when I was pregnant with my first child. They told me that I had it. Then they tested my husband to make sure he didn't have the trait also or whatever, because he didn't know either. Because back then they were not testing babies that were born for this disease. So I had no idea I even had the trait. Now, I think all kids born after 1980 or something have been tested like the day after they were born to see if they, carried the trait, the disease, whatever. So, it's just totally different. I didn't know until then. And then when I did know, they said, oh, well, you'll be fine. It's no big deal. You just have the trait. And nothing should ever happen to you. Fast forward, when I was 40-something years old, I started having these I was like super anemic. Like, I've been anemic all my life. And they never put, all of this stuff together, that it could have been because of the trait or whatever. So my anemia had got so bad that I was getting like these bruises on my legs. My body my legs at one point were swelling up. Like, one time right above, like, my ankles were swelling up so bad that they bust open. And I had like a ulcer. I think that's what they call them. I had like an ulcer on my leg, and it took that thing, it was about this big. It took that thing at least a couple of months to heal. At that time, they still had not connected, all of the pieces that it was sickle cell, that it was, that was what was bothering me. So then I ended up going to a hematologist, and he started running all these tests and stuff. And he was like, you have sickle cell, right? Sickle cell trait, right? And I was like, yeah, they told me that a long time ago. He was like, well, that's your problem. He was like, your hemoglobin is extremely low, and your iron is extremely low. So then he was the one doctor that gave me a blood transfusion, and then they started giving me iron transfusions, because I had been taking iron pills since I was in my 20s. And he was like, your body is not responding to them iron pills. That's not doing nothing but making you constipated. He was like, you have to have an iron infusion. So then I had to have iron infusions. I had to have a calcium infusion. They tried to give me potassium by mouth, but it's so nasty that they ended up giving me a potassium infusion. And so, child, I'm just messed up. Okay? That's that. Pray for people that have sickle cell, because trust me, it is no fun whatsoever. Let me talk about this white police officer for a minute that went and shot, what was that young man's name? Botham Jean in Texas. Now, I know y'all done heard the story. She claimed it was her house, and she thought somebody was in her house, and she shot and killed this young man. But mind you, the neighbors were saying, no, she knocking on the door. We heard her saying, open the door, or do this, do that. And she still shot and killed this young man. Mind you, there are pictures of her and the young man floating around on Facebook, so they knew each other. So this has to be some crazy love triangle that they were in together, and he probably tried to break up with her, and she shot and killed him. But anyway, today, Fox 4 News, I guess that's a local news channel in Texas, released an itemized list of what they found in the young man's apartment, and they said they found marijuana in his house. In his house, where she went in and killed him. Where she lied and said she thought it was her house, but it was his house. So they gonna dog the victim. He the victim. He is the victim. He is the one that a police officer shot and killed. Off duty, mind you. She still got on her uniform and everything. She off work, off duty police officer shoots and kills a black man in his own house. And then the news come out and try to discredit this man and say that they found marijuana in his house. After they did a search there, he's dead. No family or nothing in the house. And this man is a youth pastor. And I'm not saying youth pastors don't smoke. You know, hey, I know a lot of y'all, I smoked at one time. I don't do it now because I got asthma and I got too many other things going on to be out here trying to smoke weed. But when I was younger, yeah. But y'all couldn't think of nothing else to say about this man. Like, y'all really out here gonna discredit this man after this woman walked into his house and shot him? And then y'all people wonder why black people are so angry. We can't do nothing. We can't even be in our own house without getting killed. My own house. You come in my house and then lie and say you thought it was your apartment. Now, it's 3 apartments here. They are all basically the same. All of our porches are designed the same. I have never walked up on anybody else's porch. Even when I was drunk coming from a club, I still knew where I lived. I never went to one of my neighbors' houses and walked in and bammed on their door and swore, oh God, I was at home. That has never happened to me. She knew what she was doing. And it's just sad because I don't even want to go into that. Because y'all bastards already saying that I'm racist and stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. White people, y'all do not like to acknowledge the shit. Like, y'all don't like to acknowledge. I ain't in the mood for it today. I'm finna go lay back down. Get back on my heating pad, because the only place that makes me feel good is my heating pad. And I'm not about to let y'all mess up my day. But y'all know that police officer killed that boy in cold blood, right? You know that, right? Y'all ain't dumb enough to believe that. I'm at 12 minutes. I know y'all not dumb enough to believe that this woman thought she was at her house when she killed this man. I know y'all not dumb enough to believe that. She knew him. There are pictures of her and him together. They knew each other. She killed him on purpose. That should be premeditated first-degree murder. You did that on purpose. But of course it won't be, because she's a police officer and they protect each other. They can be out here killing each other. It don't matter. They gonna spin this around, and even if they do find out it was a love triangle, they gonna spin this shit around to Sally Sue or whatever her Becky Lee, whatever her name is, was so traumatized and so hurt that he broke up with her. They probably gonna come out and say he was beating her, he was abusive. Okay, that wasn't that. It scared the hell out of me. He was beating her, he was abusive, and that's why she had to kill him. They're going to find some type of defense to use to make him look bad and make the killer look good. Because that's what y'all do. Y'all do that. I'm finna go. Don't act stupid in the comments, because you will get cussed out tonight. Love you. Talk to you later, okay? Bye.